In this lesson, we're going to be looking at line and rotational symmetry in 2 dimensions. Our first learning objective is to find lines of symmetry. Our second learning objective is to find the order of rotational symmetry. Finally, our third learning objective is to complete a GCSE question. Step 1. We need to learn the vocabulary associated with symmetry. Step 2. How do we actually find the line of symmetry? Step 3. How to find rotational symmetry. Step 4. Using our knowledge to solve a real GCSE question. Symmetrical. A shape which has at least one line of symmetry. Mirror line. A mirror line is a line which can be drawn onto a shape to show that both sides have exact reflective symmetry. This is usually called the line of symmetry. Rotational symmetry. A shape has rotational symmetry when it looks the same after some rotation. Line symmetry. Line symmetry is just another way of saying mirror line symmetry. How many lines of symmetry does this square have? That's right, the answer is 4. How many lines of symmetry does this shape have? First of all, let's see if it has symmetry down the centre. No. Now let's try a line going straight through the centre. No. Now let's try a line going diagonal. No. What this means is that this shape has no lines of symmetry at all. So the answer is 0. How many lines of symmetry do these shapes have? That's right, 4. That's right, 2 lines of symmetry. The equilateral triangle has 3 lines of symmetry. Our 6-sided star has 6 lines of symmetry. The heart has only 1 line of symmetry. The irregular shape has only 1 line of symmetry. What is the order of rotational symmetry for this shape? If we put a marker in the corner of the shape, that will help us to keep track of its rotation. So, in a full 360-degree rotation, how many times did it look the same? That's right, 2. So, the rectangle has rotational symmetry of order 2. What is the order of rotational symmetry for this shape? If we put a marker at the top of the shape, that will help us to keep track of its rotation. So, in a full 360-degree rotation, how many times did it look the same? That's right, 8. So, the star shape has a rotational symmetry of order 8. What is the order of rotational symmetry for this shape? If we put a marker at the top left of the shape, that will help us to keep track of its rotation. So, in a full 360-degree rotation, how many times did it look the same? That's right, only once. So that means the heart has rotational symmetry of order 1. Give the correct mathematical name for each of the shapes that are described below. Part 1. I have 2 pairs of parallel sides but no right angles. I am a quadrilateral. Well, that means it must have 4 sides. So it's probably a square, a rectangle, a parallelogram, a rhombus, or a kite. However, it does say it has 2 pairs of parallel sides but no right angles. So it cannot be the square, it cannot be the rectangle, and it cannot be the kite. The second piece of information says I have 2 lines of symmetry. So it can only be the parallelogram or the rhombus. But remember, a parallelogram does not have 2 lines of symmetry. So the answer must be rhombus. Part 2 of this question says I have 1 pair of opposite angles that are equal. I am a quadrilateral. So again we know it must have 4 sides. However, a square, a rectangle, a parallelogram, a rhombus, don't have one pair of opposite angles. So it must be the kite. The last piece of information says I have only one line of symmetry. And yes, this is also true for the kite, so the answer is definitely kite. In this GCSE question, it shows you a picture of a rhombus, and the questions are: draw all the lines of symmetry, and what is the order of rotational symmetry? When we draw the lines of symmetry, you can easily see that it only has two lines of symmetry. If you rotate the rhombus about its centre, you can easily see that it only looks the same twice. So this means the rhombus has rotational symmetry of order 2. So that's it for today. Please remember to check out YouTube for all the videos that are related to our lessons. And also, don't forget to check Google Classroom that has all the practice material and the quick practice tests. Thank you. See you next time.